There's something curious about this broadcast.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, and we have main engine start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
This is TGP Nominal. Commence episode now.
All systems remain nominal.
Happy New Year and welcome to TGP Nominal, your monthly look at all things science fact and science fiction. I'm Mark Taylor and I'll be guiding you on your journey through the Podisphere. It's the first episode of 2026, so we thought we'd bring you content from a special event that we were part of at the tail end of 2025. But before we do that, at the end of our Garbage Pod stroke TGP Nominal Christmas crossover, I mentioned that Bobby Boer-Astellas will be bringing you his first Sky Guide of 2026 in this episode. Unfortunately, Bobby wasn't comfortable with presenting on the podcast. Don't worry, Bobby is still an honorary crew member and will be making appearances on the podcast occasionally. And it doesn't mean that it's the end of the Sky Guide either, as honorary crew member Dan Pye, who is the Deputy CEO and Director of Astronomy and Science Communication at the Kildare Observatory, will be coming on board as our resident astronomer to bring you his Sky Guide starting next month. Right, it's time for a short break, and when we return, we're going to rewind back to November 2025.
I've thought about it a lot. Why does Britain create so many great filmmakers and actors? What is it about Britain that seems to generate these people? It's pretty phenomenal, the influence we've had on like global culture. We really punch above our weight. When we were making Rogue One, I sort of half jokingly but half meaning it said to the producers, well, wait, let's just shoot in Canary Wharf. There's all the guys in the suits, you know, coming home from work, and we're not allowed to tell anyone, it's really secretive, and we're thinking, okay, we're gonna film Star Wars, and then we had hidden stormtrooper outfits and stuff, and we go in, and within an hour, turned it into the Empire. I went up to one of the art directors and was like, this was so good, like, how did you do this so quick? And he said, oh, we came in last night and we did a practice run. Like the extra mile that the crew would always go to. It's kind of like a military operation. The great thing about British crews is they've been doing this, you know, for generations, and they've all inherited off the previous one all these little tricks of the trade. We had an assistant director on the film whose dad worked on the original New Hope, and his job on that was to direct the X-Wing pilots for the battle sequence, and his son on our film had exactly the same job. It was really weird. That felt really appropriate. The great thing is on set is no one says no, and you'd say to them, like, you can say no, you know, is this a problem? And they'd say, no, we don't do that. Like they sort of pride themselves on giving you everything you want. There's something magical about Great Britain. There's so many great examples of British filmmakers, people like Hitchcock and David Lean. And it's funny because even people like from outside of the UK, like Kubrick, he ended up making Britain his home because, you know, the crews were so good. I'm Gareth Edwards, director of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and I'm very proud to say it was made great in Britain.
This is Arl J. Rimmer from Red Dwarf. You're listening to TGP Nominal.
Welcome back to TGP Nominal. Back in November, Zoe Crofts and her team at Bolt Events hosted the winter edition of the Aylesbury Comic Con, which TGP Nominal were invited to. So Liz Springs and I took a very short road trip to the world-famous Stoke Mandeville Stadium for the event. So let's go straight into the first recording we made on the day. Okay, so I'm chatting with Jean-Luc from the Oxen and Bucks Ghostbusters. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, thank you. How are you? You enjoying the event?
It's great. I mean, I prefer this one to the summer one because it's quite hot in this room.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one.
Obviously, it's in the title, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we are Ghostbusters cosplayers. We formed this group last year. We got into it because of my uncle, who was a big fan of it when he was a kid, and we ended up getting the suits to pack. We started going to shows and realised we want to do this more and we want to make a group. We checked around and there was no groups within our area. So we were like, all right, we'll make an Oxen Bucks Ghostbusters, and we then attend events closer to us and represent Ghostbusters around. Because there are Ghostbuster groups that come from Southend-on-Sea and East Anglia to events in Milton Keynes. Wow. Over the months, we've been gathering more and more gear to add to our table. So last year we had basically half of this, but we've come across and made friends with other Ghostbusters, and they've helped us out, we helped them out, and we've got a friend here as well, at the moment he's not here, he's gone out, who's actually here filling the table for us. Right. So this all started because my uncle was just a massive Ghostbusters fan, and we just found the love for it and want to do events.
So is that your vehicle outside?
That is my uncle's vehicle, yes.
Cool.
He got an Audi and he then modified that, and that is now what we go around to events in. And it has all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, it looks really cool. So it's obviously a reenactment of what a Ghostbusters vehicle if they did a modern version.
Yes, that is the take we went for, and that is literally what it's called. If you see us on any event, this or anything, you'll see we are with the modern Ecto 1.
And in front of me here, we've got smorgasbord of Ghostbusters memorabilia.
Oh yeah, we've got loads.
Are these made by yourself or?
So we've got Oscilloscope, I believe it's called. We've got this. This is actually one my dad got for free. We then spent a whole night gutting it, and my dad has then added lights and added a cool little picture to make it from Ghostbusters, which is something you do see in the first film when Lewis Tully is sat on the chair. We do have also the dish that sits on his head with, as accurate as we can, electrical stuff. So that is proper homemade. We found the dish on holiday last year, and it was like, that'd be perfect. The Ecto goggles we have here are what my uncle has 3D printed.
Really?
Yeah, he had a toy set of Ecto goggles. They do not fit perfectly on his head and really left a mark. These ones are made fit to be comfortable. The two tubes we've got here are just modified bubble tubes from a shop called The Range.
Right.
My uncle has gone and made a paper party hat from Ghostbusters 2.
So that is the who you're going to call He-Man.
Yes, that from that scene, exactly. But quite a lot of the stuff we have is mainly bought or modified, heavily modified. Like the pack I'm wearing is a heavily modified Hasbro pack.
Right.
The pack my dad's wearing is a heavily modified Spirit Halloween pack.
Right.
But the pack we have on the table is a fully built by my uncle Ben of Kent kit, which is resin, metal parts, and electronics from GB fans, which costs a fortune and weighs a ton.
I can imagine.
But again, a lot of the stuff we have is quite often bought, apart from all the stuff on the other end, which is all 3D printed by our friend Dan.
Wow.
None of it is bought, all 3D printed by him. But all our stuff is just heavily modified or just stock.
It's amazing stuff that you've actually got here.
Oh, it is.
And I love the different slime. Obviously, you've got the original ectoplasm slime.
Yep.
You've got the mood slime
Yep.
from Ghostbusters 2. Yes, I do like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we all do. It's one of those, it's a cult classic from 84 and 89. And what my dad has done is set up a rig system with buttons, so if you ever see us at an event, we'll have these tubes on set, and when you press the buttons, they will cause bubbles, so there's an interactive feature with all our stuff.
Awesome.
It's not everything is here just for show, everything's interactive. Even one of our traps actually smokes. We're not here just to show everything, we're here to be interactive with a lot of our stuff. So it's there to just have a look and just enjoy what we've done.
Smoking as we
Yeah,
speak.
there you go, smoking up as you speak.
This is so cool. Oh, wow. What I'm seeing now is one of the ghost traps actually opening and closing with a foot pedal, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah, that one is the 2-in-the-box Hasbro. So it comes with lights and sounds. Quite a lot of the gadgets used in Ghostbusters was just standard stuff that you'd find. Like the PKE meter was from a prop store, which just made it out of an Iona shoe polisher.
Really?
Yeah, that PKE meter in the film is just a plastic Iona shoe polisher, which was just modified. And people have actually recreated it perfectly.
Awesome.
So when you're watching Ghostbusters and you see things and you go, that looks like that, chances are it is exactly what you think it is. None of it was really, because it was on a budget, nothing was really made specifically for the films. Quite a lot of it was either just found or that'll work, and it was just put together.
Wow. This is so cool seeing this stuff, it really is.
I don't know how many times I've turned my pack on every time I walk past it.
Awesome.
It's not as fun as driving around in an Ectomobile.
Yeah, that's true. The grin on his face. As soon as the lights and sound goes, everybody's looking. Everybody loves it. But when you walk out of the car and you get your gear on, nothing really beats it.
No, I can imagine.
But we do also actually have contacts and know people who have genuine Ecto ones and been in them as well. So that's what being in the Ghostbusters community is about.
I did an event recently and I spoke to, he was Pete Venkman's body double.
Oh, yes.
You know that?
Yeah, UK Bankman.
Yeah.
And I did an interview with him recently.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was quite interesting. He was talking a lot about the fact that Bill Murray used to do quite a lot of practical jokes on set and things like that.
That's one thing that actually makes all his films enjoyable, is because he just ad-libbed so much of the films. He just loves it's comedy gold.
Yeah. I imagine a lot of that stuff was ad-libs between them all.
Although the only thing people had issue with doing films with Bill Murray, no one knew if he actually would show up. And in the first ever Ghostbusters, or I think it was Afterlife, one of them, they actually made 2 separate scripts. One if he shows up, and one if he doesn't. So if he didn't show up, they still had a script to film. And he would show up pretty much like 10 minutes before they would start filming. Everybody got annoyed with it, but it was like as soon as he showed up, they would start rolling. And I think that's why a lot of the times all his stuff is ad-lib, because most of the time it's just he's come straight in and they've not really given him a script. So he's just had to improvise as much as he can.
But that's the beauty of what he does, is that he can do that. I mean, he started off his career doing improv, so it shows. Well, Jean-Luc and the rest of you guys, it's been fantastic talking with you.
That's all good. We're happy to talk.
And now I've got to take some photographs of what we've been talking about.
Don't forget to help yourself to one of our cards.
I really enjoyed chatting with the Ox and Bucks Ghostbusters guys, and I look forward to catching up with them at future events. You will find contact details for Ox and Bucks Ghostbusters along with the photographs that I took of their amazing props in the show notes. Next we caught up with an amazing comic book artist called Lee Bradley.
Lee, tell the listeners what you actually do.
I'm a comic artist, though I would say I'm more of a commercial artist now because I haven't done comic books for a few years. So I attend Comic Cons, I do workshops in schools, I put on exhibitions, I do corporate work, so sometimes I design stuff for companies. I've drawn a lot of sketch cards, thousands of sketch cards over the years. And when I say I'm an artist, I'm a traditional artist, so I draw everything by hand, so pencils, 4H, red and black Staedtlers, India ink and a sable brush or Unipin pens, depending on the piece of work. And then whatever comes to hand from then on.
So you say you were a comic book artist. What sort of stuff did you work on?
It's a mix. So my first ever job, my first ever credited job because there are such things as ghost artists in comic books, so I did a bit of inking and whatnot. Was the Transformers How to Draw Guide. So when the Michael Bay films come out, so we're talking 17 years ago.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, it's scary how long ago that was. I came up with the concept of doing a how to draw guide. It was pitched to the comic book company. It's my first published work with my name on it in the books. That ran for 12 months, so it was a monthly gig. That led to being an inker on Transformers, because obviously once you got the editor's email, you can badger them. Then I became a penciler and inker. That then led to another job, which was Transformers Animated. People always think the cartoons, but it's actually the comic book called Transformers Animated. So they asked if I'd be interested. I drew half of all the UK ones. There was another artist who drew alongside me called John McCrowes, quite a well-known comic book artist. I was working on that. I did some colour work for John on some Spider-Man stuff. That led to me working on Spider-Man Tower of Power. So I started out as a colourist and another artist, and I actually coloured several artists, but became a colourer and colourist and inker, and then I got some of the scripts myself, so I was a pencil inker and colourist on that. That led to Turtles Fast Forward, because I was working with quite a well-known, or the most well-known Transformers writer, Simon Furman, and he was writing Turtles Fast Forward at the time, so I was an inker and colourist on that. Forward many years, did lots of jobs in between, so I was a penciler on a book called The 99, which is the first Muslim superhero group for a company called Teshkeel. The writer was an X-Men writer. I think it was Stuart Moore was writing it at the time, but I think it was Scott Lobdell that was the original writer. They had a crossover with Justice League at one point, and there was theme parks and Nestle water bottles and all kinds of stuff with that. And yeah, I ended up doing a lot of sketch cards for companies, so Mars Attacks, Tax Invasion, Firefly, a lot of Star Wars, so Galaxy, Galactic Files, Sketchographs, and on we go. And then in between that, I got asked to put on an exhibition all the way back in, I think it was 2015 or 16. And so that was my first ever exhibition. And from that, they approached me to do another one, and we got Arts Council funding. So it was the English Arts Council put on a big exhibition called Retro Kids Cartoons, which then saw me down this road. And here we are now in the glamorous Stoke Mandeville Stadium. I'm not sure if I'm hot or cold. It's just a bit in between. So yes.
It's interesting you say about the retro cartoon thing, because obviously the ones that I'm next to right now, I mean, it's a lot of this is my childhood in a picture, and I'm just like, Heathcliff, Scooby-Doo, Muppet Babies, Gummy Bears, Real Ghostbusters, Count Duckula, and so on, and Ewoks. But then this one did catch my eye, because this is like every British kids cartoon ever.
Yeah, that was
down to not even just the cartoons.
That was done for a giant road banner to advertise the event, and that was rewind to the 80s, so it was a celebration of British cartoons. We had old wooden box tellies and top-loading VHS players and all kinds of stuff.
I'm just looking at this one, Dr. Snuggles.
Yes.
One of the guys I used to work with, and one of my managers, his son used to do the soundtrack, the actual score for the Dr. Snuggles.
It's amazing. I was chatting to some people today. The amount of people that know people in some relation to it. There's a guy who bought some stuff earlier, and he lives next to the guy that created K9 and some other stuff.
But it's just things like this. Oh,
he's called Green Claws.
Thank you.
Telebugs. Oh wow.
So my favourite on there, if you look right at the bottom, is Mr. Spoon from Button Moon. I used to love Button Moon.
Oh, so he is.
You've even got Toad in there as well.
Gilbert.
And Basil.
Gilbert.
See, when I draw something like this, I have an initial idea. So the initial idea was obviously Banana Man in the centre, and then I build it around. But as I'm doing it, I'll be watching YouTube, cup of tea, jammy biscuit, and something else will pop up, and you're constantly reconfiguring. So I turn it into like a Where's Wally, almost.
Is that Bertha?
That is Bertha.
Oh, wow.
The lovely Bertha. Good old, she's a dream, I think.
We've got Gordon and we've got Ed. It really is, though, but I love things like this and there are so many things
Nobby the sheep.
that people will have watched.
Yeah, Ghost Train. Most people don't remember they Ghost
With
Train.
the leather jacket, with the sheep in the sheep.
And he had didn't he have like a suit as well and a bow tie at one?
He did.
Very weird. I
remember the sheepskin jacket.
it only ran for a couple of years, but it's very weird, very strange
They
program.
used to show Trapdoor on that.
Trapdoor is on that.
That's what I remember.
I'm actually sketching out a Trapdoor piece.
Telling my age at this point here, but
No, you saw it on YouTube. That's what you said.
that's the one. I totally did not have it on VHS at all.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, he is down the bottom. This Burke next to Sooty.
Yes, there he is.
Do you know something about that show? The little spider creature that was in Trapdoor, his name was Drut.
Yes.
He's just turd backwards.
That kind of makes sense. Did look like a little turd, didn't it?
Well, I love things like this because there are so many things that we forget about as we grow up.
It was exceptionally creative, as in, because you weren't surrounded by stuff. They're just kind of deep. I tell you a program I used to love. Do you remember Round the Bend?
Yep.
With the crocodile and the cartoons like Thunderpants and Wee Man. But it was a spitting image program, but for kids.
Yeah.
And it was really quite out there. Whereas now everything's really, what do you call it? It's sanitised. Most stuff is very sanitised.
See, I'm currently rewatching Duckula with my daughter.
Yes.
I have them all on DVD.
Well, yes, we're currently because it was on brand for October as well for creepy filler. So we were watching.
I've recently done a Duckula piece. It's on the table.
He's down here and he's in the bottom of this one too.
Yeah, if you look, if you look at this one,
you've
I've
got
split.
both versions.
Yeah, most people don't realise.
Oh, I saw that.
The actual
I saw
vampire
what you did there.
and the vampire vegetarian.
Yes. No, it's brilliant.
I love the fact that you got Gilbert the alien on there as well.
Yeah, and I love Gilbert with all that snot coming out of his nose. Brilliant. Get Fresh, fantastic programme.
One of my first interviews I ever did was by a guy, his name was Gareth Jones.
Right.
Otherwise known as Gaz
Top, yeah, of course.
And I just wanted to talk to him about Get Fresh. Because I loved that show.
Yeah.
And then they brought out his own show with Gilbert's Fridge.
Yeah.
But your stuff is really, really amazing.
Thank you very much.
You do some things that are transforming Transformers, because you've got Care Bears ripping apart Transformers. Unfortunately, it's one of my favourite Transformers, but...
it's my favourite Care Bear.
Sometimes Care Bears have a bad day.
It's Grumpy Bear. It's the most miserable Care Bear. What's not to love?
I should have mixed in with Eeyore, they'd have got on really well. The nostalgia that just looking at one picture, and we've got three in front of us. We've got classic children from the UK, we've got classic cartoons from all over the place. And then, again, it just says Saturday morning straight away when stuff was...
See, that's the thing. When I do a piece, I like to evoke an emotion. And because it's not just looking at the characters, it takes you back to where you were at the time.
Yeah.
So did you have like breakfast in the living room on a weekend? Were you lying on the carpet face down as you watch? When did you run home to watch it? It's the actual emotions attached to them. Which nostalgia is going to disappear because kids have access to everything. So how do you build nostalgia? Nostalgia is the absence. So it's the absence of not having access to these programs, them becoming distant. Whenever you forget anything now, you only have to type in your phone. It's instantly there.
Going back to your stuff, you say you do workshops at schools and stuff.
Yep.
So what kind of thing would that entail?
All kinds. So I've done workshops where it's been like a 6-week course of how to create and design superheroes. I've done them with adults as well. I've done like basic headshots. When you do younger kids, when you work with younger kids, you've got to simplify it. So like Marvel heads, it's all shapes, circles, squares. You show them how to do the structure. Then usually I'll do pencil workshops, then we'll do inking and then colour theory at the end. colour theory is the best bit because you give them pens and they just do it. It's great.
Just make sure you get it in the lines.
Yeah, no, they tend to be quite creative. Kids do, especially with the colour, and they go super silent. Once you get to the colour bit of the class, you know, it's like you're getting paid to not work. It's amazing. But yeah, it's a whole mixture. I've done anatomy classes, and generally, it's most schools you're only there for a day, so you'll do the basics. But it gets them interested. So, like, depending on, a lot of them are key to exhibitions I've done. So when I did a Journey into Marvel exhibition, what we did is we gave out thousands of comics to encourage reading. So you get them in, they do some drawing workshops, then they get some comics afterwards. But yeah, it's all different. I did last summer, I think it was last summer, how to draw like Star Wars characters, where that's really quite simple. You know, Darth Vader is triangles and circles. It's confident. Once kids realise most things are shapes, because when you're a kid, you focus on detail. And when you focus on detail, it's you never have a finished piece. You realise actually you got to create the understructure first. And so it's giving kids the confidence to realise how simple some of this stuff is, and then you build it up from there. So yeah, it's a mix of everything really, workshops.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
And you must get a sense of well-being when you've kind of inspired a youngster to do stuff.
Yes and no. So yes, it's great, but it depends how tired I am. Sometimes I just want to go home and lie down, because it depends on the size of the classes. So I've done classes which are 5 kids all the way up to 35 kids. It's a different ball game. And then the age range, like younger kids are great and older kids are great. The middle ground is where it gets tricky, because, you know, like kids that are 16 plus are great because they really want to do it if they're there, and younger kids are just, you know, they're like sponges. But the middle ground, they're quite particular on how they like to do stuff, and some just do not listen for love or money.
But it's also like herding cats.
Yes.
That's how I was.
Yes.
Put it.
Awesome. Well, Lee, it's been absolutely fantastic talking with you.
My pleasure. You kept me awake for 10 minutes. That's a start.
Where can people find your stuff?
Well, I have a website, but it is so out of date that the photograph of me, I look about 10 years younger and I got a beard. Basically, socials are all at Lee Bradley Art, so LEEBRADLEY and then ART. So you can find me on YouTube. There's videos of me drawing on there. Some of the shows I've attended. Instagram, tend to be on there most days. Facebook, pretty much everything's Lee Bradley Art. Easy to reach me and see what I'm doing on there.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
No worries at all.
Thank you for talking to us.
Hey, my pleasure. I really need to lie down.
Thank you.
And there you go, my friend.
Cheers.
It was such a nostalgia trip looking at some of Lee's work, and it was really fun chatting with him.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of TGP Nominal and its infinite mission to explore space, science, and technology news, to explore the world of sci-fi, Comic-Cons, and gaming, to boldly go where no podcast has gone before.
We always like to promote authors when we attend conventions. This time, we chatted with Michael Hiskins.
Michael, tell us a little bit about the book.
It's the first one I've ever done. It's going to be hopefully it will be the first of a trilogy. I've done the second book, which is being proofread right now, and I've already started on the third. So I've always been a big fan of fantasy. So I love Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter's, Terry Pratchett's, that sort of thing. So this has always been something I've been interested in. However, never thought I'd ever write a book, to be honest with you, because having dyslexia, writing and reading was never really my big strong point. So the idea of writing a book was far from any ambition I ever had. But I thought, no, I'm going to give it a go. It's something I've always wanted to try. So yeah, I'm quite proud of myself. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a classic fantasy adventure book. So it's, like I say, if you like Lord of the Rings, like Harry Potter, there's something that definitely be interested in. And it's aimed at, I'd say, young teens, so maybe 13 to 16-year-olds, that kind of age gap. So, yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about the synopsis, if you like, of the book. what the story is without trying to give too much away.
Fair enough. I call it a coming of age story. So the main character, he's a 14-year-old. He's a bit of a fish out of water. He's kind of clumsy. Doesn't know what to do out his life, and he's basically accidentally thrown into this adventure. Yeah, he finds out that he's actually worth more than. I don't want to give too much away, but he always thought that he was a bit worthless. He didn't know what to do with himself. But then he finds out that he's actually quite an important person. Like, I'm not going to give anything away, but he finds out that he's got this quest he has to go on. He's got this destiny he has to fulfill. So, not entirely knowing what he's going to do, he goes off on this adventure. And on his way, he meets all these new friends, and they join him on the adventure. So, like I said, it's like a bit like Lord of the Rings. You know, they all come together. They all go on this adventure with each other. The whole goal is to find this thing called the White Rock. Now, I'm not going to say what the White Rock does, what it is, but everybody wants it. So he's offered his quest, and these other guys are trying to stop him as well. So it's a classic sort of good against evil. And to give anything more away would be giving away too much. So
Yeah, definitely. So it kind of has that kind of a feel of one of these kind of like Jim Henson style, like Dark Crystal.
Yeah, I love the Dark Crystal. Love the Dark Crystal. My inspiration doesn't come from many books, because like I said, I couldn't really read them when I was a little kid. So a lot of my inspiration comes from like the Dark Crystal and Masters of the Universe and He-Man, all those classic 80s like cartoons and adventure movies. So there's Krull in there as well, and remember Krull? Yes, Krull. Love it. And Labyrinth is in there as well. So yeah, the dark. It's a bit it's gothic, I would call it as well. So sort of dark and gritty with a little bit of humour thrown in there as well. So yeah.
And judging by how you were describing it. The main character feeling as though they're a bit worthless, and that the kids of the age that you're aiming it at, a lot of the kids kind of feel that way anyway.
Exactly. You're short for your age, you're a little bit scrawny, you're not very strong, and then out of nowhere you're thrown into this big adventure, and you're like, can I do it? Can I not do it? You doubt yourself. As the story progresses, you get a little stronger, a little wiser, and you find out you're not as weak as you thought you were. And that's what the main character discovers. You know, he finds out that he is strong, he is brave, he just needed to be put up to the challenge, that kind of thing, yeah.
Awesome. And you say you grew up with having this dyslexia?
Yeah.
There are a lot of kids out there that have dyslexia that are trying to get into books.
Yeah, of course.
I take it it's probably written in a way that they would understand.
I would say that it's written the way that I understand, and having dyslexia myself, so I didn't make it too complicated. I made it a sort of easy reading, you know. So people with dyslexia can pick up this book and they can enjoy it. I strongly believe, yes. I tried to read books myself, and by the time I've gone to the bottom of the page, I've forgotten how to the top of the page, you know. So this one, like I said, it's not complicated, it's very easy to read, and I think they'll enjoy it, definitely. Yeah.
So where can people get hold of the book?
Well, you can get off me personally on my Facebook page. All the details are actually inside the book here, so all my social media is in there, so you can find it on my Instagram, you can find it on my Facebook, on my TikTok shop, or you can get it through me directly at one of my fairs that I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So how have you found today?
Today, it's been good. It's been good. I wasn't too sure, because leading up close to Christmas, I thought they saved their money for their presents. I don't know, but lo and behold, people have been very good. Yeah, had a good day.
Brilliant. Well, Michael, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you.
No, thank you very much. Happy to be part of it.
Yeah, I hope to speak to you again probably at another event.
I have no doubt in my mind. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Next up, I spoke with a couple of members from the Cosplay Syndicate who really make Bolt events pop.
I'm with Kev and Myra, who had a big part to play in today's event, because you were hosting the costume competitions.
Yes, that's correct.
Were you one of the
I was one of the
judges?
judges, yeah.
So, are you part of a group as a cosplayer?
We are a group called the Cosplay Syndicate, and we are essentially partnered with Bolt is probably the best way to say it.
We collaborate with them on most of the events,
So we, with the cosplay zone, so to speak, help grow the cosplay area, and as you've already mentioned, help with the competitions as well.
Yeah, we do some advertising for them as well, flyering and general social media advertising as well, where we can.
That's great. So your cosplay group, how many members do you have?
I think we're up to about 12.
I think it's about 12.
About 12.
And then they're all superheroes, or?
No, so I mean, say for example today we had myself as Human Torch, Mira as Raven.
Yep.
We had Liv as Maleficent, and we had Steph as Lara Croft from Tomb Raider.
Oh, right.
I mean, we've got a whole mixed bag. We mix it up every single time we come, and it ranges from like superheroes, comic books.
I do a lot of Disney princesses and things like that as well. Yeah.
I mean, my main one's actually a WWE cosplay.
Oh, right.
So yeah, it's everything across the board.
I gather you're forever making costumes, or?
Yes, forever making and or sourcing and just constantly coming up with new things. Sometimes it's stuff that's just for us, sometimes it's specifically for the events. It really varies. A few of us in the team can actually make, like Steph can make and she makes her own stuff. And then you've got people like me who tend to buy, edit or commission from people like Steph.
And the great thing about being a group is that we've all got our own skill sets and we can all pull from those skill sets as well.
That's fantastic. So, I mean, you're always evolving then with what you do.
Definitely. Yeah, I think we're still growing the group. We're fairly new, but we're all establishing ourselves now. Like I've just taken over the social media a bit more so we can spread the burden, because we don't want one person to have to deal with everything, because it gets a bit much, doesn't it?
It does indeed. I also think we're looking for so to speak aggressive expansion. So if there are people that fit the mould. Not that there's a very, very fussy mould. We're not like some other cosplay groups where you've got to have a certain accuracy or anything like that. We are pretty much welcoming of everyone as long as you fit in with the group and you understand what we're about.
So the costumes don't have to be film perfect as such. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what we do, there are comic books and video games, and it's not just film and TV that these characters are from. So you don't have to look at the film or the TV show and think to yourself that's the costume I need to go for. Yeah. You know, a lot of these characters are literally drawings on a piece of paper. So you don't have to look like a drawing on a piece of paper because it's a drawing on a piece of paper, so you can make it your own as well.
Yeah, we were literally saying this earlier. As long as people know who you're dressed as, you've done it well. That's it. That's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's screen accurate, comic book accurate. People can walk past you and go, "You're Human Torch, aren't you? You've done your job." It doesn't matter how good the costume is in respect of the accuracy.
And that's the thing, is that with a lot of these kids, what they see is the character. They don't see you.
Exactly.
So to them, you are who they see.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like the kids don't care if like the material is the same as what it was in the film. If you look like that character, they're going to be excited to see you.
They don't care that Princess Jasmine has 2 nose piercings.
Well, she probably might. I mean,
she might, but she doesn't. But she could, Or Elsa. When I do Elsa with nose piercings, they don't notice. They don't care. Yeah.
Well, this is it. I mean, especially with princesses as well, because like Disney princesses are always held to such a high regard in children's eyes. So it's about creating the magic. It doesn't have to look complete. I mean, again, Elsa's a fantastic example of the fact that Elsa is pixels on the screen.
Yeah.
So you don't have to look like pixels on the screen, but if you can bring that character to life enough for that child to for their eyes to light up, then you've done a perfect job.
That's it. And I think the thing, we never claim to be the characters. If the children come up to us and think we're the character, we'll go along with it.
Yeah.
But if they know we're a person in a costume, that's fine. We'll still make sure it's a magical memory for them.
So how did it feel when you get asked to be involved with the competitions at an event like this? I mean, you've got kids of, year dot up to adults. And obviously it's the little kids that are the emotional part of it for you guys, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because they put everything into those, well, their parents have put everything into those costumes. But to them, they are that character. And I mean, it's obviously nice that you give them all goodie bags at the end as well, because if they haven't won, then they feel a bit rejected. So if they got something from it, then they feel a bit better about things. But it is nice that people they get recognised for what they've done, and especially this year, the costumes were
they're good. Yeah.
pretty good this year. I mean, they seem to have evolved over the last few years, but this year was specifically very good.
I like to say that we've helped with that because our involvement as cosplayers that do this, I mean, at least twice a month.
Yeah, usually.
I mean, the month of November, I think I've only got 1 week where I'm not wearing a costume.
Same.
But I feel like we've helped encourage people to bring, the more elaborate, the more quote-unquote serious-looking cosplays to
the experimental stuff.
And that's exactly it, and to experiment as well, because I think the way that we structure the competition now is that everyone can feel a bit more seen, and that's evolution. Bolt had their idea, we had our idea, we've merged them together and we've evolved the competitions and on that side of things. I always say to everyone as well, I always acknowledge how much bravery it takes for a young person to stand up in front of people. So again, I'm happy that we're able to give everyone a goodie bag as well, because I think you're not just rewarding the costumes, you're rewarding that person for being brave enough. I can't really talk about the difficulty choosing anymore because I've deliberately pulled myself away from that.
Yeah, you didn't want to do the young kids.
I'm a terrible judge.
Yeah.
I just want to give everyone a prize.
That was clever.
That's Mira's burden, that's Steph's burden. Today, Mira living Steph's burden. So I mean, she can talk about how difficult that is.
Yeah, it is hard. It is very hard, especially with the very young ones, because for the most part they've come in just their little onesies and they all look adorable. I think the main thing we try and do is separate the cuteness from the costume itself, because sometimes we've looked and gone, that kid is so cute, but actually that kid's costume is so much better.
Yeah.
So we do make a point to ourselves doing that, but also it's encouragement. So obviously while Kev's doing his MC and saying they're all very brave, we'll go up and we'll say, guys, you've made this choice really hard, and we'll make a point to look at all of them, and even after the competition we'll say to them, well done, you did so well. And we do make a point of making it seem like just because you didn't get it this time doesn't mean you shouldn't do it next time. And we're always available for like pictures and cuddles and whatever that they want afterwards. Some of them just want to go back to mum and dad, and that's fine, but we're still there if they need anything, or if they're a bit upset we can still go up and talk to them and console them and just say like, hey, you did really well, but look at us and what we're wearing, so maybe next time you try something like this, give advice. But generally, I think the kids are mostly just happy to the fact that they got involved and they got seen by people who they deem as, I say in air quotes, professional cosplayers. But to them, that might be what it looks like. Yeah.
So, where are you guys based? Are you all over the place, or?
Most of us are based sort of Beds, Bucks, Hertfordshire. Right. We've got a few further afield.
Again, aggressive expansion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think most of the Bolt events have started around sort of Beds, Bucks. So this one is my local event, Aylesbury. Mm-hmm. But as Bolt events is slowly expanding and we started expanding, we're kind of trying to find people within areas that maybe we can't reach. Like Bolt events is going to Scotland. So we're looking at expanding to some of our Scottish companions over there. Not confirmed officially yet, spoilers, but yeah, we will be doing some collabs with Scottish cosplayers.
Bolt events.
No, not the Bolt events, but that's the cosplay of it, yeah.
Cosplay Syndicate are trying to expand to Scotland.
Yes. But yeah, mostly we're Beds, Bucks, Hearts. We've got some in sort of Birmingham areas.
Yeah, we've got some Midlands based.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so far.
Much.
Yeah. But yeah, ever growing.
So, if people wanted to get hold of you maybe for an event or something, how can they do that?
So, there's the Instagram @CosSyndicate, And then we do have an email address, which is cosplaysyndicate@outlook.com. They're probably the best two ways of getting hold of us. If you are at a Bolt event, come over and talk to us. We're always happy to talk. If you don't want to use the electronics, find out where Bolt are. Chances are you'll see someone from the syndicate there and you can get talking to us from there.
That way, okay.
And if you can't get hold of the syndicate but you know someone within it, message that person and they'll be able to forward you to the right contact details.
Excellent. Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you.
And you.
And hopefully we'll meet up again at another event.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks to Kevin Mira for taking time out to chat with us. So as the event drew to a close, Liz and I sat down to go over our day at Aylesbury Comic Con Winter Edition.
This is a much smaller road trip than we've been doing lately, so...
Definitely. It's our 4th time coming to this event, I think.
Truly do not know anymore.
I think it is our 4th. And it seems to be a lot chilled out this time compared with the others.
It is. It's been a nice, relaxed one. I don't want to give the impression that it was quiet, because it's not, but it's certainly been a much more relaxed feel to it than we had in the summer. The summer was, very busy, very energetic. It's been really nice.
Yeah. And got to speak to some interesting people on the way round. Don't want to keep going back to the same people, because...
No, got to mix it up some.
Yeah. And, there was a few different stalls than there was before. Obviously, there's been a lot of stalls that they've had before, but then they are familiar with the people that come to these events and they keep coming back to...
That is a tick in the box for the organisers, because they have people who want to keep coming back from a vendor point of view.
Yeah.
So that in itself says that it's a good event. I will confess, after our conversation with Lee, I now have like a list of cartoons I want to try and find again. Because there are a few that I have struggled to find even from the 90s. So, the internet has let me down some. So that's definitely left me with some homework.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, if you wanted to watch the whole of Duckula, I have them all.
We are rewatching Duckula right now. I
also have all 167 episodes of Danger Mouse.
Outstanding. Actually, the one that it reminded me of that I remember every couple of years, and then I try and find, and I fail to find, was a charming little 90s cartoon, Beetlejuice.
Yes.
For there was a Beetlejuice cartoon.
Yeah, it came out about the same time as the Back to the Future animated series.
And I very much enjoyed the... I better not say that three times.
Not 3 times, no.
So that is one I do love. I forgot Poddington Peas existed. I wasn't really my flavour then, but I certainly remember it because, in the days of 4 TV channels, I very much remembered Poddington Peas.
Yep, and the shoo people.
Yeah. So that's definitely left me with some homework after that one. And
Michael Hiskins' book sounds interesting.
That's what I was about to say.
Really does.
It really does. I like a good coming-of-age underdog story. I always root for the weirdos.
Yep. So today is, for me, interview-wise, has been very successful.
Yeah.
And I haven't been rushing around to do it as well, which...
Always a good one. I've been a little quiet on the interviews today because I'm joining you from a wheelchair today. I've not tried to do interviews from down here before.
That's the beauty of these microphones, because I could be over there talking to you. You wouldn't hear me, but I'll be over there talking to you.
We could play Chinese whisters interviews. Maybe we'll try that next time.
A bit of string and a couple of tin cans. And...
I am thoroughly down for that, as always. We'll maybe give that a go next time. But yeah, so it's been another good, relaxed con from these guys.
And it is evolving year on year. And I think Zoe, when we spoke to her before, she said that that's what she wanted to try to do, is evolve it as much as she can. As I say, there's always space at these events, which is good. And once again, not saying that it was quiet, but it's the way it's laid out. The aisles are pretty wide.
Yeah.
So it makes it a bit easier to get about, which is really cool. I think we'll start heading away. If you remember the last Comic-Con podcast that we did, we ventured out somewhere else afterwards, and it sounds like we're going to be doing the same again.
I feel it'd be rude not to.
So I'll leave it there, and the other Mark can speak to you back in the studio.
Good luck on the Mark.
Thanks, Mark. It's a pleasure working with you, buddy. Once again, I'd like to thank Zoe and her team for allowing us to come along. Don't forget, contact details for everyone we spoke to at Aylesbury Comic Con Winter Edition will be in the show notes, along with photos from the event.
Spamhead Productions are a small independent sound recording company based in rural Hertfordshire. We specialise in creating content for all your podcasting needs, whether it be field recordings, vox pops, or capturing the atmosphere during social events. Editing is a very time-consuming job, so Spamhead Productions are on hand to take away some of the burden for you. Just advise us on how you'd like your content to sound, and we will do the rest. We can even help you design and manage a website for your podcast too. Visit us now, spamheadproductions.weebly.com. That's spamheadproductions.weebly.com.
Well, that brings us to the end of our first podcast for 2026. I want to thank Liz Springs and her entourage for joining me for the day, especially as Liz wasn't able to get around without her wheelchair this time. I really appreciate what she does for both TGP Nominal and the Garbage Pod. So as always, that leaves me with one thing left to say. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and I'll speak to you all again real soon. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of TGP Nominal.
If you want to get in touch with us, then
send an email to garbagepod@virginmedia.com, where your input is our output.
Or click the social media icons at the top left of the page over at tgpnominal.weebly.com.
If you would like to subscribe to any of our podcasts, you can do so via Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Don't forget to rate and review us.
And you can listen to me going solo, bringing you the latest in movies and home theater for regular people in the Widescreen podcast over at widescreen.org.
And if you like what we're doing here, then why not buy us a coffee by clicking on the donate button on any of the podcast pages. And don't forget to spread the word about us.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes the event.